As I'm sure everybody is aware at this point, on Tuesday evening, Donald Trump tweeted out a threat to North Korea, basically saying that I also have a nuclear button just like Kim Jong-un, and I'm not afraid to use it, and mine actually works. White House officials, according to reports, have spoken to reporters and said, yes, we're very worried about the situation happening right now with the president. They're telling reporters that they're afraid that Donald Trump is going to, quote, accidentally start a nuclear war. Now, the reason they say accidentally is because they understand that Donald Trump is not a mentally stable human being and that there is something very, very wrong with his brain and his thought process. However, they won't do anything about it. They've essentially admitted that. They know that the president is crazy. They know that he can't be trusted. They know that he's prone to just sudden acts of anger and violence, and they believe that that could easily lead us into an accidental nuclear war with North Korea, but they just won't do anything about it. At this point, every single person working inside of that White House who is not actively trying to talk Donald Trump out of starting a nuclear war is complicit. They are accomplices. Standing by and refusing to do nothing as your boss is slowly losing his mind and slipping further into dementia and threatening nuclear war on another country, yeah, you do nothing about that, you're an accomplice. You're just as culpable as he is at that point. And I hope every person inside of that White House who has expressed concern to the press but then does nothing to stand up to the president, I hope you understand that this is also on your shoulders. Now, these same White House officials have also expressed concern about Kim Jong-un because they have admitted that he is probably mentally unstable and prone to just quick acts of anger without actually thinking through the consequences. So they're also worried that Kim Jong-un could start an accidental nuclear war with the United States. But think about what that means. I think there's probably a general consensus here in the United States that Kim Jong-un is a pretty crazy guy. He is a brutal dictator who makes most of his country live in abject poverty without enough food, without enough electricity, with no access to the internet, unable to leave their country for any reason. The guy is a dictator and needs to be removed from office. And yet, White House officials express the same concerns about him as they do with Donald Trump. So what does that tell us about Donald Trump? Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are cut from the same cloth. They might have grown up under different experiences. They might have different net worths. They might have different values, which I seriously doubt. But at the end of the day, they're both crazy, power-hungry individuals who will stop at nothing, who do not value human life enough to avoid casualties to obtain more power. We're just pawns in the middle of all of this, quite literally in the middle of all of this. While these two men in their positions of powers with their declining mental stability keep threatening each other with their ongoing pissing match, and we're going to be the cannon fodder. We're going to be the ones caught in the middle of all of this, of the bombs dropping, should this happen. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are one and the same. And just as much as we think Kim Jong-un should go, we should all be in a consensus at this point that Donald Trump also needs to go. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see here on Ring of Fire, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the little subscribe button down there, but if you're watching it on another device where you can't see it, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, hit subscribe, be notified every time we get a new video.